From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
dressing for success plays an important role for many business owners. Not only can help you make a good first impression, but it could play a part in closing a deal or accessing important capital. Al Wright's family has been in the menswear business since 1969. Says he learned the importance of customer service from his father and is passing that wisdom on to his son. Part of the service is helping the customer dress to impress.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
I'm Alfonso Wright, and we're here at Al's Modern Clothing and Shoes at 6036 East 82nd Street here in Castleton. I think what's special about what we do here is that we really concentrate on customer service. That's the key to your business really being successful, is to make sure that when every customer walks out, that they're pleased and satisfied. Well, it started when I was just a little one. My dad was telling me, out of 8 kids, he says, you're going to run the family business one day. And he says, but you got to go to college and get your degree. And after your degree, we'll get you started. And we're from Peoria, Illinois. And that's pretty much how I got started. Moved up here in Indianapolis, worked a few years. And after that, I went on ahead and got with Dad, and we got the store going. And that was in 1995. And we've been going ever since. Ever since I was a little kid, he always just emphasized that, and I would always watch him do it. And so then it just became something that we already knew in our family, that the customers are always right. And I used to have a problem with that, but then once I started running the business here, I realized that that's correct. You know, that's how you put food on your tables, the customers actually coming in. So you got to make sure that when they leave, they're happy and that they feel like they had a good service. It's quite unique a lot of times when my dad, myself, and my son, we're all here together, and people come in and they acknowledge, wow, this is 3 generations, because my dad actually started this in 1969. But yeah, and then some people are just saying, well, how did you guys go about doing this? And I just said, hey, my dad had a successful business, and I didn't want to work for no one else. I think, if you got a family business, you can work for yourself. I think that's the right thing to do. Oh yes, that happens quite often, and we're known for actually putting people in a nice outfit. When they walk out, they're going to be happy. When they get out, they get a lot of compliments. And when that happens, and they pretty much didn't have to do anything but just say, hook me up, and you do that for them, you definitely will get a repeat customer after that. They always say history repeats itself when it comes to fashions. You have the wide leg pants, then they go to the skinny legs. It's just so it just kind of goes in and out. You just got to make sure that you just stay in front of the trend, and that's pretty much it. But it's like I said, it always changes, so you just got to stay in front of it. We do custom suits, and then if a person comes in and just need to just get things just altered or what have you, we take care of those things as well. But we try to make it to where it's just a one-stop shop. You can come in and get, like I say, custom suits, so off the rack, obviously, but we make it where it's a one-stop shop. Everything that you need, as it relates to men's clothing, you'll be able to get it here at Al's Modern Clothing. I always tell people that you definitely want to make sure you got to have a navy blue suit, a gray suit, and those would be some of the suits that you would wear if you're going to like a business meeting, if you want to go to the bank and you're trying to, get some capital or what have you. But I always also tell people this: you only have one time to make a first impression, and so you want to make the best of that. And if you go in there and if you're looking like you can do what you're asking for, and you can do the part, 9 out of 10 times they'll probably give it to you. But if you go in there and they looking at you, they can prejudge you, and they shouldn't, but they can simply because of how you look, how you dress. If you're going to go to the bank and you're trying to make it to where you're going to see if they're going to give you a loan or what have you. I would keep it to where you're more or less like you're neutral. White shirt, I wouldn't put on a black or a red tie. I'd just keep something, a nice blue, just something nice and simple where your clothing isn't making the statement. They're going to pay attention to what you're saying and not looking at this fancy tie that you may have on. You know what I mean? They'll be listening to what you have to say. Definitely. And that's what I always talk to my son about when we're working here. When somebody comes in, that's exactly what I ask him. I said, so what's the occasion? Because the last thing you want to do is like, hey, let me pull this suit out for you so you can look good at your wedding, and they're going to a funeral. So you want to ask them that, what's the occasion? So if they say they're going to a club and they want to wear a tie, that's when I'll get that fancy tie. They're going on an interview. So you take all of those things into consideration, because then when they get to where they're going and they get the results they wanted, them looking the part has played a major role in that as well. Well, you'd be surprised at how many people come in here and I saved them because of what they did online. I had a gentleman just 2 weeks ago was getting married, and he had a tuxedo that was coming from online. And when he got to him, it was like 2 sizes too small. It was just, he only had a week, of the certain color he was looking for, and he just went all over the city. He says, and I come here, and I was actually able to hook him up in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes, and he was really happy. And a lot of times that's what happens. You can get something online, and I'm not trying to knock what people do online, because I've done things online myself, but it's not always going to be correct. If you can actually come in and try something on, you always get to see the outcome. What warms my heart is when people come in here and they ask for my son and not myself. That's what really, because I know he's getting it, and he can take on just like how I took on from my dad. And I mean, sometimes I look at him like, hey man, you're taking all my customers, but that really is what warms my heart, is that how he actually can run this business and I don't have to be here. And that's really a big plus for me, because it gives me some time to where I can just kind of relax a little bit and don't just have to just continue to work. Yes, that's very important, because that's what keeps the community going. I try to make it to where a person can come in here and you can help them out in any situation and everything. And this, we work with people like NDPs. They have other organizations that will come in, and they're dressing the gentlemen and things like that, and where I get a chance to actually help and implement, some of my clothing for them to wear. So that's really has been a big thing for us as well. And I saw my dad do this when I was a kid. Literally, I would see him he would pull people off the street that didn't have much with that, and I've seen them actually give them clothes. Customer service and community service is the key, because the community is what's supporting you. And the customer service, like I said, that's the most important thing, is just how you treat your customers. That's, like I said, I can't implement enough how important that is. If you make your customer happy, you'll be around for a long time.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities Podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV, or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.